Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, double line to the Apostle GMS. This is Amnal Allah coming at you with a video. And in this video, I want to go into speaking of words and wisdom in due season, and just bowing your ear to wisdom. And when I say bowing your ear to wisdom, what I mean by that is taking heed to the words of the wise. Okay? If a person is bowing, they're in a state of, that's a sign of being humble. So if you're bowing down your ear, you're humbly listening to the words that's being spoken, wise words that's being spoken. In this case, I'm talking about the scriptures. So the first scripture I want to go into is the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 20, verse 6. Some men holdeth his tongue. Right. Some men holdeth his tongue. So some men, they hold their tongue. They just don't, run their mouth and talk all the time. And that's something that, brothers should take heed of. Obviously, it applies to me even more because I'm the one that's saying it. Because some things are not. In verse 5. There is one that keepeth silence and is found wise. Right. So there's one that keepeth silence and is found wise. So there are people who keep silence and they're found being wise because they're keeping quiet. They're listening. They're listening to the words that's being said. That's what a wise person would do. The scriptures tell you in the book of Proverbs, even a fool keeping his mouth, he is esteemed wise. Let me get that. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 28, King James Version. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. So even when a fool holds his peace, meaning he keeps his mouth shut, he's esteemed wise. Because why? He's not speaking. Therefore, he's not proving that he isn't wise. Therefore, being that he isn't speaking and rather listening, the assumption is that, this person must be wise because they're listening. They aren't saying anything. Since they aren't saying anything, you're assuming that they're gathering information. They're gathering what's being told. Even though they're still a fool. But they're counted as wise for doing that. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. So someone that keeps quiet is esteemed a man of understanding. If the class is quiet, you're going to assume that the class is listening to what the teacher is saying. Even though somebody might be passing notes in the back of the class. Somebody might be playing rock, paper, scissors. They might be, playing on their phone or whatever. Or when I was younger, a Game Boy. But they're esteemed as wise. So they're believed to be so, even though they're still a fool. Even though they still may very well be a fool. So it says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise. But you got people that keep silence and they're found to be wise. And another, through much babbling, becometh hateful. The person that's always running their mouth talking becometh hateful. Annoying, this dude just don't shut up. You're always talking. You got people that's like that on your job, in your family. These scriptures are in the Bible because you people when you encounter are going to be like this. You even going to have God like that that's in the camp. Just because you're in the truth don't mean you're not susceptible to these type of things. But because you have the truth, which is the word, you got these scriptures to give you a guideline of how you should conduct yourself. Some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer. So some men keep quiet because they don't know when to answer. They don't have a response. They don't know how to answer. And some keepeth silence knowing his time. So some keep silence because they know their time. They have an answer, but they know that there's a certain point in time in which they should speak. And that's something you gotta look into, man. You don't want to be the guy that's always talking. You don't want to be the guy that's looking to be a star. I want everybody to look at me. See, I'm the one that broke that scripture down. You don't want to be that guy. You got to take heed of these things. That's controlling the flesh, man. Holding your tongue. You got people that don't know how to hold their tongue. They don't know how to be quiet. They always got to be the guy. They want to be the guy everybody look at. Yeah, see that brother deep right there. and then you always raise your hand and answer questions. And let's say you're right. The question is being asked. Cool, you're right. Good. But then now, you may get built up in pride. And then the question get asked and you think you know the answer. And you answer it wrong in front of everybody. Now you're feeling embarrassed. And then you're thinking, you know what? I should have just held my peace. I should have been like one who held his peace. No, I should have been like one, like verse 6 says, some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer. I ain't had an answer. I should have held my tongue. I thought I knew more than what I really knew. And some keep his silence knowing his time. And then once you answer the question wrong, another brother raises his hand up because he knows his time. Now he answers the question. He gave somebody else a chance to answer it. And you may have answered that question and you answered it wrong. And then he goes and answers the question, he gets it right. And it may be somebody who wasn't in the camp as long as you. Maybe somebody who's not looked at as being as deep as you. And that's the sign of the Most High saying, see? And then the scripture will pop in your head. You wanted to be a star. You wanted to just keep talking. You want everybody to look at you. Oh, look, that brother wise. He got wisdom. You should have kept silence because you ain't had an answer. But you thought you knew more than what you really knew. But then the Most High will go and have a younger brother raise his hands up and he know the answer. You know? Because he knew his time. The Spirit jumped on him to keep quiet, let somebody else answer it, to give somebody else a chance, and then he goes and answers the question. Or it may not even be somebody that's under you. Maybe somebody that's the same rank as you or above, whatever. I'm just using that I'm just using those scenarios as examples. But the Most High can do this. All right. Another verse, verse 20. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth. For he will not speak it in due season. Right, a wise sentence will be rejected when it come out of a fool's mouth, because he's not going to speak it in due season. You know, you got somebody that's might break down a certain scripture and it might be right. They might explain something and what they're saying, oh, that is wise, that is knowledgeable. But brothers might be like, yeah, but that goes into a whole nother topic. That's not really what we're talking about here, because you brought it out in the time it wasn't even meant to be brought out. It didn't even occur to this particular situation. It's like you're having a debate with somebody and they go and move the goalposts and bring up a whole nother topic. Wait a minute, hold on, you moving or going in another direction. Wait a minute, you're moving the goalposts. That's not even what we're talking about. What you're saying is true, but that's not what we're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? So a wise sentence will be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth. For he will not speak it in due season, because he's a fool. He may understand certain things, but he doesn't know the application of wisdom, which is to speak those wise words in due season. To speak those wise words when the time is right. You know? You bringing out a scripture, and let's say somebody said, yeah, and that's also talking about so-and-so and so-and-so. Well, yeah, that is what it's also talking about, but that wasn't the point that he was trying to hit with the scripture. Yeah, you're right. But that wasn't the point I was getting to. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, you're right. That is what that scripture talking about, but that scripture don't really apply to this particular, topic we're on right now. And then you might be sitting there looking simple. And then if you got to be dealing with the truth, this could just be it's out there in the world on a job. You could be talking about a job, and the boss could say, okay, what do you think we could change about the workplace? Well, I think that we should do this, that, and third, and the other. Something like I think that we should be given another whatever scenario. I don't really got to give you a particular scenario in this sense. I gave you many, but use your imagination. You're on a basketball team and a player says, we should run this particular play. Well, that's a good play to run, but I mean, not for this particular scenario that we're in right now. They're gonna reject that. They're gonna reject that. You on a job, you're saying, I think we should do this with the boxes in the back. And they go, well, we can't do that with the boxes in the back because those boxes come every Wednesday. Today's Thursday, so they're not coming for another 7 days. So, we can't do that. It may have been a good idea, but it didn't apply right then and there. I'm using those things as an example, but I'm really just thinking about the truth. A wise saying could be spoken, but if it's not spoken in due season, it's going to be rejected. Because that person is saying a wise sentence, but they don't understand the application of wisdom because they're not applying that wisdom in its proper in the proper scenario. you know? My brother may say, I mean, I really don't gotta give much more examples. I could, but that's basically the point. There's other scriptures I wanted to get to, but I'm going to get to about 3-4 more scriptures. But it's already 10 minutes in the video. The video honestly went faster than I thought. Yeah, man, but that's basically it right there that I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to some more, but that's basically, I'm reading scripture one more time. And why sin shall be rejected when it cometh out of the mouth, out of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season. So you always got to take into account when you're speaking words of wisdom, if you're speaking it in a proper set time in which you should. Because if not, it'll be rejected. You could break down a scripture correct, but that scripture may not even apply to the particular topic at hand. My brother might bring out a scripture, I got a precept, but the precept don't even got nothing to do with the topic you're speaking on. So with that, I'm gonna close. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, I'm just using this as an example, because it came to my mind as I was on the road. So with that, I'm gonna close and say, oh praise Yahweh, Shemel Shai, Double Line, Apostle GMS. I hope you're gonna learn something. Shalom.